All right, friends, today is week 23. I'm gonna read today's and then go through the answers. I'm also gonna try and fit in a couple of yesterday's so that you can check yesterday's as well. Today's say compare. Number 3 says which choices do not round to 54,000. And number 4, Angelina scored 587 points in her first video game and 748 points in the second game. Brianna scored a total of 3,000 points in 3 games. How many points does Angelina need to tie Brianna's score? All right, so here we go. Number 1, compare 72,531 compared to 71,325. All right, comparing, I'm looking for the values. This is worth 70,000. This is worth 70,000. So far we're equal. This is worth 2,000. This is worth 1,000. Would I rather have 2,000 or 1,000? 2,000. So the alligator is eating the 72,000. And I would read that like a book. 72,531 is greater than 71,325. Okay, number 2, I'm gonna let you add. Make sure you put the bigger number on top. Number 3, which answer choices do not round to 54,000? Okay, so I need to try each choice to see if it in fact rounds to 54,000. If it does not, then I'm going to circle it. Now, how do I know where to round? Well, I need to go to the first place that's not a 0 in 54,000, which is the thousands place. So thousands place tells me 4,000, but there's the 50,000 in front of it. And after 54,000 comes 55,000. 4,000, 5,000. Move to the right, circle it. 1 is a red number, so it goes back. So choice A does round to 54,000. It is true. We're looking for ones that are false. Okay, B, 53,624. We're going to the thousands place. We're looking for ones that do not round to 54. So 3,000 and 4,000. But we have the 50 in front of it. Move to the right and circle it. 6 is green. So this one is true. It does round to 54,000. So let's try C. C is 54,725. We're rounding to the thousands place, which is the 4. 4 tells me 4,000. After 4,000 comes 5,000. But in front of it, I have the 50. Move to the right and circle it. 7 is green, which tells me to go. That one does not round to 54. So that is one of our answer choices because it does not go to 54. All right, D, 51,421, rounded to the nearest thousand. Oh, I'm sorry, 51,421, rounded to the nearest thousand. So digit in the thousands place, that tells us 1,000. After 1,000 comes 2,000. I have the 50 in front of it. Are either of my answer choices 54,000? Is there any way this can round to 54,000? No. So there's no way that this can be 54,000. And since we're looking for ones that are not 54,000, that one is good. It would round to 51,000. But if you can pick that up right away, then we can get rid of it right away. And finally, E, 53,467 to the nearest thousand. So we're underlining the digit in the thousands place. That tells us 3,000 or 4,000. We still have the 50 in front of it. Okay, move to the right and circle. Is 4 a red or a green number? 4 is red, so it goes back to 53,000, which is not 54,000, so E is our correct answer as well. So we had 3 answer choices that did not round to 54,000. You must have all 3 to get credit. All right, I'm gonna set you up for the UPSC, and then you're gonna be doing the solve check part. Just remember, we're getting pretty close. We're getting closer and closer every day to that SOL where you're gonna have to do this on your own. Okay, it says Angela scored 587 points in her first video game and 748 points in the second game. Brianna scored a total of 3,000 points in 3 games. How many points does Angelina need to tie Brianna's score? So let's go sentence by sentence. The first thing that's said is Angelina scored 587 points in her first video game. So I'm gonna say A equals 587. Okay, points. So we'll just call it P for points. And 748 points in her second game. So that's Angelina still. So we're gonna say A is 748 points that she has. The next sentence says Brianna scored a total of 3,000 points in 3 games. So Brianna had 3,000 points. And the question says, how many points does Angelina need to tie Brianna's score? So how many to tie? What does the word tie mean? Is it like tie my shoe? No. If it's a tie, that means like the score was 7-7 or 42-42. It means they're equal. So I need to know how many points does Angelina need to tie or have the same amount as Brianna. So really, how many until she's at Brianna? So how many to tie? All right, so first, remember, anytime you have the same label, she scored 587, she scored 748. So we're gonna find a total for A. Okay. Now if I'm thinking about it, okay, this is Brianna. Here's her 3,000 points. Here is Angelina. She had games 1, 2, and 3. So this is all 3 games for Brianna. This is for Angelina. So 587, 748, and that all goes together. So we're gonna find how much this is in step 1. Now I need to know, what is this amount that she's going to need to reach 3,000 points? Because this all the way at the end there is 3,000. So how do I figure out what that missing piece is? Okay, so this is, I have a whole of 3,000 and I have 2 parts that I know and a part I don't know. How can I figure out the part that I do not know? And common sense would tell you that if she needs to tie 3,000 points, meaning be equal to 3,000 points, my answer should not be more than what? My answer should not be more than 3,000. All right, we're gonna go over a couple from yesterday because I have about 3 minutes until I'm out of time on the video. So, number 1, rounded to the nearest 1,000, very good. 59,826 to the nearest thousand. All right. HTO, HTO to the nearest thousand. This is my thousands house, so there's my thousand. All right. 9,000. What comes after 9,000? After 9,000, if I'm counting 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. But I already have a 50,000 there. So 50,000, okay, so 10,000 is what I would count next. But I already have a 50,000 from the 5. So what would that be a total of? 59,000, 60,000. So think about it just like counting by ones. What comes after 59? 60, but it's not 59, it's 59,000. So it's not 60, it's 60,000. Okay, so just think about it like you're counting by ones. 9, 10, but it's not 9, it's 59. So what comes after 59? 60. Move to the right and circle it. Is 8 a red or a green? 8 is a green, which means go to 60,000. Okay, number 2, I'm going to get you set up with your regrouping. And then I'm going to let you do the facts part because the zeros I know are tough. 8,003 minus 7,482. Okay, remember, you should be circling where there's more and then thinking about the poem in your brain. More on top, no need to stop. More on the floor, go next door to borrow 10 more. Numbers the same, zeros the game. So, more on top or more on the floor? More on top, no need to stop. And I subtract. Then I go over here. Circle where there's more. More on the floor, go next door to borrow 10 more. Well, no one's home next door, so I need to go down the street. I'm going to take one of those 1,000 cubes and trade it in for 10 flats. Because 10 hundreds equals 1,000. So I no longer have 8 of those, I now have 7. I don't have 0 hundreds anymore, I now have 10. I still can't do 0 take away 8. I still have my bigger number on the floor. But now I can go next door to borrow 10 more. I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to trade it in for 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now I don't have 10 of these anymore. I have 9. Because remember, I traded. This was a fair trade. And now I don't have 0 tens anymore. I have 10. Now I have more on top. No need to stop. Move to the hundreds. Circle where your bigger number is. More on top. No need to stop. Then I look here. Numbers the same. Zeros the game. Okay, you can check your work to make sure it's right by adding if you, that's always how we check subtraction. All right, quickly, number 3, because I have about 30 seconds. Label each as identity, commutative, or neither property. Remember, identity is superhero. Commutative is I go to work and then I come home from work. And neither means it's not a property at all. Okay, so the first one, 7 times 0 equals 0. Now, if it was commutative, I'd have the same numbers on both sides. So identity, I have a 0. Now, identity means I don't change. How? Because like Halloween, you put on a mask, but you're not changing who you are. So this 7, is this 7 changing? It is, so I'm going to put N on the line for neither because it's not identity. Then I go through each one and label it as N for neither, I for identity, or C for commutative.